Yeah, so essentially what's going on is Boston College obviously has lost their head coach in Jeff Halfley. That happened, what, like less than a week ago or something like
Yeah.
that. But
This
anyway,
past week.
um, yeah, this past week. So anyway, they are looking for their current replacement. Right now, the three options that Boston College's insiders, news media, whoever you want to call them, are putting out there are Paul Christ, Al Washington, and also Bill O'Brien, the new offensive coordinator for Ohio State. Now, Buckeye Scoop is on right now, I believe, but I was listening to them for a minute before we came on here. They are talking about that Bill O'Brien wants to take the job, has cleaned out his office, has said that essentially if they offer him the job, he is gone. I've not heard it personally to that degree, but I also don't run a Buckeye Insider website or anything, so they may have more information than me. That would not be surprising. But also, what is being discussed is that Al Washington is also a formidable opponent for that job as well. Now, if you are thinking that, why would Bill O'Brien go from Ohio State to Boston College? I don't like to speculate on this too much just because I do think a lot of it is speculation. But Bill O'Brien is from Boston. He does currently live there, or his family lives there. And apparently, his sick son, who is in his early 20s, I believe, he was born with a kind of illness that requires constant medical attention and care. And the best doctor, apparently, the best doctor for that care is up in Boston. Again, I'm not going to speculate much on that just because it's another man's family. I wouldn't want people to speculate on my family. So, but that is kind of the rumbling or the rumor out there that is leading Bill O'Brien to possibly consider this Boston College job what he would rather be doing rather than the offensive coordinator at Ohio State
I can't say that it's the best doctor for that illness, but it is their doctor.
or their doctor. Yeah.
I will that's obvious. He's lived in Boston the last couple of years as the OC for New England. As this news is breaking, Chris, Aaron, I'll turn it over to you guys. Get your response. What's your initial reaction from this? I'll be honest. I can't fault the man.
No,
No,
I
no, I
can't do
can't
it.
either.
can't.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. You, Chris, then
No,
Aaron.
I can't really fault the guy either. I mean, he does have proven success as a head coach. It's the area where he was from. Just like you said, there's a lot of personal. I guess he's got a personal stake in the area. It makes good sense, and given his success in the past as a head coach, I mean, let's face it, this guy's the guy who brought Penn State's football program back off life support.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's a good fit. I think it's a smart move for Bill O'Brien. I think it's a good move for Boston College. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if it happens. I'm not going to begrudge the guy if it happens. Uh, I mean, let's face it, he wasn't my first choice when we talked offensive coordinators, anyhow. It
Right.
took me a while to get used to the idea of him having that position, but it did kind of grow on me once I calmed down and thought about it a little bit. So I will be a little bit sad to see a little bit of instability there. My biggest concern is what happens to these guys who followed him up here from Alabama. So
Yeah,
that's kind of where my
Real,
concern lies.
really only I I would think it's only Julian Sane though, the quarterback. Would he follow him to Boston College?
I don't think he
I would
can.
have to think probably not, unless there's a heck of a package on the table.
And I don't think Boston College NIL is even close to what Ohio State is.
no,
You know.
You
couldn't
wouldn't
be.
Um
think.
Yeah, couldn't be.
Jr. What were you going to say? He couldn't.
I don't think so because I think you can only transfer once unless you're a graduate transfer. You have to at least wait a year, right? Like I don't think
I
you
think
can transfer in back to back years unless it's a graduate transfer.
that's a good one. We might have to look that up. That's a good one. Aaron, go for it.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, I can't really fault him. If my kids were sick or if just one of them was sick, doesn't matter. And that's where the specialty care was, and that's the doctor we selected. Yeah, I'm gonna stay right. I'm gonna stay put. I'm gonna stay right there at home. And I cannot fault him or his family or Boston College for doing that at all. I think it's fair to say we're all family men here. and we're gonna make that decision. We're all gonna make that decision. Best care for our family. As far as like what Chris said, I think that was my thoughts as well. Because I mean, there was a whole article written about, I think it might have been 11 Warriors. It was talking about how these new offensive players are all excited to learn and develop under Bill O'Brien. And now that he's gone, what does that look like? Maybe they're stuck here for at least a year, but do they pull a Quinn Ewers? You know, is it likely that they go to Boston College? I don't know. Bill O'Brien going up there, I would like to think there would have to be some kind of financial backing to at least pull a lot of players up that way. I mean, look at what Rutgers was able to do, and Boston College is bigger than they are. So, I mean, I think they might be able to pull something off. Is it Ohio State money? No, but they might be able to do a little something, get some guys up there that want to play under Bill O'Brien.
I'm going to read Larry Daniels' comment, and I think that a lot of Ohio State fans feel this way. I certainly wish him well either way. I really do. If he wants to stay, and I'm on board with this, awesome. If he wants to go because he's like, my family's there, my children's there, my child who has special needs is there, and that's where his doctor is, I'm not going to fault the man at all. In fact, I'm going to salute him and say, I've got your back. That's a good move. Frank, your thoughts on this, my friend?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better than that. Um, I have a kid who's got special needs, and if there was a chance that this he's comfortable with this doctor in Boston, God bless. Do what you got to do. Um, we'll find somebody else to take the reins, and we'll be all right.
So we're going to do what they tell you not to do. We're going to speculate that he does leave, and we're going to say, who should the next guy be? Because that's who we are here at the OHIO podcast. We're speculators. Chris is actually wearing his speculators, if you can see that. Terrible dad joke. There you go. First one tonight. All right.
Hey, they're not speculators. They're Connors.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Connors. I get it. All right. So I actually wrote down 3 names, but I've got one circled that I'm very hopeful for. Okay. Now the first one, and the one that probably makes the most sense still, is Jason Candle, the head coach here in the state of Ohio at Toledo. We have the OC from Buffalo. His name has slipped my mind. I didn't write his name down. He was the quarterbacks coach and the play caller at LSU.
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
I will write it down now. Joe Brady. And then the guy that there's a lot of buzz about, Chip Kelly. Apparently, Chip Kelly wants out of UCLA. He actually apparently reportedly interviewed for a couple NFL jobs, didn't get them. I don't blame the NFL for not going back to that well. That was an experiment that didn't go so well in Philadelphia and San Francisco. He has that relationship with Ryan Day. I believe Ryan Day played under Chip Kelly, or at least coached with him when he was first getting in the business, and there in the Northeast at was it New Hampshire?
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
And there's definitely a relationship there. Reportedly, he's asking for $3.5 million to leave. I cannot see Ohio State dishing out $3.5 million.
I'd rather give that to a player.
Yeah.
Really? Do tell, Chris. You're all right. Give me your reasoning why.
I just don't think that you can justify that for an assistant coach.
Not even as a coordinator?
Not even as a coordinator. I don't think you can justify that. I mean, yes, he's got head coaching experience. Yes, he is. He would be Ryan Day's security blanket, no doubt about it. I don't know. And he does make sense from the standpoint that, okay, the guy is an offensive wizard. He has called plays before. He's at the age where
I'm writing that down. Chris says Chip Kelly is an offensive wizard.
with the sleeves and all.
And the, you got me thrown off there.
He's like, I'm just gonna move on.
He said, "You know what? Never mind. Just pay him the money."
No, I still don't think he's worth the money. Even though he's a good fit as far as being at the age where he's not going to be looking necessarily to stick around real long, he would be a good one to bring in and teach Heartline how to call plays. I just don't think you can justify it. I really don't. I would rather see that money given to a player to secure somebody who's actually going to perform on the field.
Now I can't get the picture of my head of Chip Kelly walking in over at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center with a staff and a long beard and thou shall not pass. And they're like, what? We're gonna run the football the whole time? What? All right, Chip Kelly, Aaron, what do you think, buddy?
I don't know. I think that it would be a good move. However, I think that Cliff Kingsbury is still out there. I don't know how that might look. Does he fit into this? I don't know. I understand, but he does have a track record for success. And honestly, I would take him over Joe Brady.
Really?
Personally, I think I would.
Can I throw a name out there from the NFL as long as Aaron's throwing in some NFL names out there?
Send it.
What about Eric Bieniemy?
Yeah, he ain't coming to Columbus.
He's a guy. I mean, he's a guy who's looking to get, one of his big things. He was under Andy Reid. He's never really truly been a play caller. And I think he's looking for that opportunity. That's his biggest knock in the NFL. Why he hasn't gotten a head coaching job is because he's not been a true play caller.
Okay, so first off, yeah, I gotta respond to this. You guys, we can't spend NIL money on coaches.
Well,
that's not how this works.
The other side to it too is like if $3.5 million for Chip Kelly is too much, Eric Bieniemy is going to be a little bit more than that.
You think?
Is he though?
I do think
I don't
that.
think so.
He's a hot name.
JR, you're up. Go for it, buddy.
I mean, I like the options that were discussed beforehand. I like Jason Candle. Obviously, I think Joe Brady would be good, but he's obviously, in the NFL and probably going to be, I don't know if he even was announced yet or not, the Bills offensive coordinator for next season or whatever. So I feel like all these offensive coordinators in the NFL who are currently established are probably a bit of wishful thinking. I think one of the reasons why we got Bill O'Brien was because he was out from New England because of the Bill Belichick firing or retirement or whatever that was. I don't know exactly what it was, but I'd be happy with a Jason Candle. I'd be happy with, if Paul Chryst doesn't get the job and Paul Chryst wanted to be the offensive coordinator, I'd be happy with that too. I know you're looking at me like that, but Kevin Wilson came from Indiana, and he was very good. So
yeah, but he was creative.
He was, but
hey,
Paul
Chryst knows how to run through
I think Paul Chryst would call a better running game than Ryan Day.
I was gonna say he knows how to call, both off tackle and inside runs.
But
I'll give you that.
But that's not the offensive line that we run. Okay.
No.
Right.
No. If you take Neapolitan ice cream and you remove the strawberry and the chocolate, you're left with Paul Chryst.
Guys, I still say Andy Ludwig should be a viable candidate. I really do.
Mark that, tag that, send that over to Wisconsin for all I care. That's a true statement. All right, Frank, you need to get us straight here, man.
Please
help us out, buddy. What does Ryan Day need to do if this OC job opens up, my friend?
In all likelihood, it's Jason Candle, right? I think he came in second to Bill O'Brien here. All the rumors were that Ryan Day really likes him. But I'm going to throw another name at you guys. What do you think of Joe Moorhead, head coach at Akron right now? Yeah. He reminds me a lot of Bill O'Brien, right? Called plays for Penn State, Oregon. He beat us in 2021 at Oregon. I think he'd be a nice addition, and I think things aren't going so well down in Akron for him right now, and he might be willing to go down I-71 and make a change and compete for a national title.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I'm okay with that.
I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
him running the same play over to the left side of our defense about 4 times, and we were like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Yeah. The exact same play. Please don't
Yeah.
remind
Yeah.
me of that.
Hey,
Gosh.
if it's
Aaron,
working,
you really enjoyed breaking that film down, didn't you?
Well, it made my day really easy. I'll say that. Look, they did the same thing at Ohio State with a different look. Still couldn't stop it. That's magic.
all right. No, let me answer this, because this is a great point that Brian Oberst brings up. Wouldn't that be a big demotion for Chip Kelly? No, it wouldn't. You have to ask yourself, where is Chip Kelly at in his career? All right. If you look at Chip Kelly's coaching tree, right? Ryan Day has got to be the biggest, best part of that coaching tree, right? I mean, he's coached at Ohio State. He has one of the best winning percentages in college football history for a new coach. All right. Yes, we understand he took over a program that was humming. All right, and was going well, and he's done it at no. Yes, he's lost to Michigan 3 straight years in a row, Chris, but he hasn't completely. The program has not fallen apart in shambles, and this offseason has proven that this man knows how to stink and recruit when he's got financial backing. Agreed?
Yeah.
Agreed.
What
Well,
I could see Chip Kelly. Let me finish my point, and then
Yep.
I'll let you tear it apart, Chris.
No,
I think when we went back, and you and I argued a lot for a long time, and I think you eventually saw how important Kevin Wilson was to Ryan Day as a play caller. If Chip Kelly comes, not necessarily to call plays, but to be the eyes in the sky for Ryan Day, I love the move. I was not sold on Bob, as we're calling him, Bill O'Brien, being that guy for Ryan Day. And it sounded like Ryan Day was willing to turn over the offense to him, right? Answer this question for me. What changes did Bill O'Brien make as offensive coordinator to this coaching staff?
none.
None.
He was only here for 36 hours, Eric. How many can he make?
I was going to say, what do
That's
you want him
long
to do?
enough. That's long enough to watch the film and know that our offensive line sucks.
You know what? Here's the thing, and that's a good point you bring up. Let's bring in another one of Ryan Day's friends that he won't get rid of if things start going south.
What is
Checkmate.
this? Does Eric Boggs have a Cleveland Brown themed mic? No.
I was going to say, like, a circus themed, maybe. It looks like a clown nose, but honk. Yeah.
Don't you guys agree, though? Like, if you're going to go with the Kevin Wilson experiment again, I want it to be Chip Kelly. He's going to speak the language that Ryan Day speaks. Ryan Day's offense is born out of the philosophy of Chip Kelly. To me, it makes perfect sense. Frank, what do you think, my man?
Yeah, I mean, you make a lot of good points there. At this point, late in the game a little bit, we're in February. Spring ball is right around the corner. It might be the best decision to have somebody that speaks the language.
Actually,
we're going to experiment with the OC position.
I gotta be honest.
This is a funny comment. Russ, you got me on this one. 36 hours, fire everyone, then leave.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, good, touche. Good point. Go for it, Jr.
I would be very, very upset if Chip Kelly becomes the offensive coordinator. I think it would be a bad move. I think that he is Ryan Day's mentor. And I don't know if you guys have ever had like a mentor in your field or something like that, but imagine trying to be your mentor's boss. I mean,
It's not easy.
It doesn't really work. And on top of that, he hates recruiting. He's talked about how he doesn't like the transfer portal. He's not really a fan of NIL, it seems like. I mean, let's be honest here. One of the most important parts of being a coach at Ohio State is being able to recruit and bring in good talent. Jim Knowles has been able to be an okay recruiter and be able to land guys in the end, even though he's never been a good recruiter. Anywhere he's been, he obviously has a very good recruiting staff around him. But I think it's easier for Ryan Day to tell him, hey buddy, go out there and recruit when he's his defensive coordinator and not his mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Dylan. Got the Purdue guys in here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he can't, I like Chris's point. If he can't even get Justin Fry to do what he wants him to do, his buddy, he's not going to get his mentor, Chip Kelly, to do what he wants to do, especially if he's lacking in recruiting in these different areas. I think it's too close to home. I think it's like hiring family. I don't like it.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to go outside so the iron sharpened iron. I get that. You make a good point. But you talking about the understudy, coming in and taking over for the being the boss of the mentor. It works for this guy's favorite wrestler. Stone Cold came in and kind of said, "Hey, what's up?" Just saying.
He took it over, which brings me to my point of,
go for it.
Is there too many chefs in the kitchen if that happens? You know what I mean? Does Ryan Day have the wheelbarrow to tell his mentor, hey, this is my program. We're going to run it the way I want to? Does Chip Kelly follow suit? Does he open up his mind to the transfer portal and everything that comes with it, NIL, all the things that he's already said he doesn't like? I mean, I don't know that Bill O'Brien necessarily, with his head coaching experience in the NFL and college, does he have the ability, even if he does stay, does he have the ability to just simply, I guess, follow suit of what Ryan Day says? Or is Ryan Day saying, hey, you're the head coach of the offense, have at it, and he's just hands off, a la John Cooper? What does that look like? Too many chefs in the kitchen? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, and here's the thing. He does need to have his hands off. I thought that was the whole point of this, was so he could get to being the head guy, the man in charge of the team, and let the offensive head coach and defensive head coaches run their systems.
Yes, but he still has to have the final say.
He does, and that's what I'm saying. If he's still calling the plays, what's the purpose in hiring an offensive coordinator?
I get what you're saying, but it has to be his philosophy, and then are they executing
Agreed.
his you know what I mean? So I get what you're saying, and you're right, but I just want to make sure that this isn't a situation where he's just completely just hands-free of the situation, and these guys are just running free, and there's no communication back and forth, because that's how you have all of this talent, and then it falls apart.
Right.
See, this is interesting to me, because we are now having the debate once again. We've gone full circle, and we're having the debate that we had months ago about whether or not Ryan Day should turn over play calling duties, right? That's what the debate is.
There's no debate. It's a year ago.
There is a debate. There is a debate.
He should have turned over a year ago.
To who? Brian Hartline wasn't ready to call plays, bro.
He should have done it with
And
Kevin
if he's
Wilson.
not ready, don't make him the offensive coordinator.
Kevin Wilson should have been. I agree with Frank.
I think he had the right guy in
Yeah.
building. I mean, 6 years on staff. He's one of the better play callers in all of college football before he went to Indiana. I mean, he would have been perfect.
Yeah, 100%. He was creative. He knew the staff. He knew everything about this program. He would have been the home run. They should have definitely handed it over to him when they had the chance.
Okay, so if we agree he needs to hire someone to be the head coach of the offense. That's what we were talking about months ago, right? He needs to find his Jim Knowles of the defense on the offense and be hands off and allow the OC to be the head coach of the offense. Was Bill O'Brien that guy? Yes or no, Chris?
I think from the standpoint of did he have the ability to do it? Yes.
Okay. Frank, yes or no? Was Bill O'Brien that guy, the head coach of the offense?
I agree with Chris. Yes, he had the ability. He could have got it done.
JR,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yep.
I'm the only no here.
You don't think he would have taken control of that?
I don't know that Ryan Day was going to let him.
Let me tell you.
Therein lies the problem. It's not a Bill O'Brien problem. It's a Ryan Day problem.
Right. And I'll tell you, I think that he was the man for the job because with the new clock system in play in college football, it's much closer to the NFL. And with him coming directly from it, he knows how to make play calls based on clock management. And those two things are very synonymous with how this game is played. We've talked about chess and checkers and how coaches call their plays and things like that. That's why I say Bill Bryan would have been the man for it.
Bobby McCormick, y'all saying did he go to BC? It has not been reported yet, Bobby, 100% that he has left. However, there is a lot of noise and rumors going on that he told Ryan Day, if I get offered the position, I am going. And I posted a video on our Facebook page earlier today of when he was the head coach in Texas about his young boy who's now 21 and the illness that he has and the physical needs that are being met in Boston from their family physician and the doctor who is taking care of this young boy's needs. And if that position were to open up for him, how it would make sense for him and his family based off his child's needs to be there. And we all agreed that that is where he should go and needs to go if that position is offered to him. So we're at a place now where I've got to ask the question, did Ryan Day mess this up? If he leaves for Boston College, did Ryan Day mess this up? Chris, yes or no?
No, because I don't think it was something that could have been foreseen happening this quick. I don't
Frank?
think that he saw Halfley leaving and this position coming open.
Frank?
And that's it right there. Halfley screwed Ohio State twice over, right? Leaving after 1 year
Love it.
as DC, and then he did it again now. But no, I mean, how could you foresee this? It's impossible.
JR, I can't wait to show this one to you guys.
I mean, same thing. Like you guys were saying earlier, do we blame him for leaving? No. Did we know this position was going to be open? No. Did he know this position was going to be open? No. Ryan Day made the best possible hire he could, and if he leaves, it's most likely for some kind of family reason, and none of us are going to scold him for that, so none of us should scold Ryan Day for that.
Aaron?
I agree with JR 100%, word for word.
All right. I'm looking up real fast something because this comment was someone we've mentioned. Bring back Kevin Wilson. Kevin Wilson's contract at Ohio State when he left was for $1.4 million. I do not know what his contract is at Tulsa currently as the head coach there. Let's say they offer him $2.5 million to come back to be the head coach of the offense. Would you do that, Chris?
I think it. I want to say yes. However, I would like to see him calling the plays if they're going to do it.
Frank?
Yeah, I agree with Chris there. But he was pretty adamant that he wanted another stab at taking over a program. So I doubt he does it, but $2.5 million, who knows?
JR?
Same.
Aaron?
I would accept it. And this is just me coming from like the whole, like I was talking about earlier. I want that NFL coach because the play calling is strategized with the time. Why do you think the Patriots dynasty was so good? They understood about that play calling and they had the ability to make that happen. We have the ability to make that happen. And I'm not saying college coaches are just completely unable to understand time, but what we got?
Bring in Urban Meyer. That'll never happen. Sorry. No way.
Eric, two 2.55 million is what he's making at Tulsa.
2.55 million.
Huh.
You know what Ohio State has other than just 2.55 million that they could offer?
Yes.
Toby
He
Wilson's
was
on
he
his
was
team. That's his son.
60 he was 16 years his son.
Yeah, Toby Wilson's on this team. That's his boy.
Yeah, but he's 6 years, 15.3 million.
6 years, huh?
Yes.
He ain't gonna get 6 years. I mean, this is a one go thing. All right, last question on this before we move on.
Bill Belichick has free time.
Ryan Day calls you up tomorrow morning, Chris. Then Frank, Jr., Aaron. He's gonna call you guys up tomorrow morning, and he's like, "I need help. I need to know from you who should be the hire. Who do I need to call first to offer this position?" Chris, who you gonna tell Ryan Day he should call?
I think Jason Candle's the best fit.
Frank?
I like Joe Moorhead. I mean, I know I just suggested him, but I like his resume, and I think he's got a lot of what Bill O'Brien had in him. So that would be my pick.
JR.
Like I said earlier, I'm fine with either Jason Candle or Paul Christ. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but I'd be fine with either one.
Paul Christ. Gosh. He would show up
It
to that
hurts that he
interview.
even said that, Eric.
He would show up to that interview wearing a complete khaki suit is what that guy would show up to the interview in.
I don't care what he's
Khaki
wearing. If
suit.
he gets touchdowns, it's all I care about.
All right. Aaron, go for it.
First of all, if Ryan Day called me, I'd crap my pants. Secondly, I'm with Frank. I think I like Joe Moorhead.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think I like that one better. Or don't get me wrong, I'm okay with Jason Candle, but Joe Moorhead would be for me.
Joe Brady for me. I think he won a national championship as a play caller. I think you got to give that guy the opportunity to do that. So that would be the guy I would go for. Absolutely.